So I'll just get back into the presentation. So yeah, thanks again for everyone for coming along. So I'll just make a start. So firstly, just an outline of the contract itself. It is a national tender we're carrying out. It covers all of Scotland. We have split it into regions. So that's north, east, central, west and south. From that, we've created 14 lots. So these are geographically split. We have the different regions, and within that, we'll split it into sub-regions. Each lot itself is going to be awarded as an individual contract. There will be one contractor per lot, and therefore one contractor on each contract. It's a maximum 5-year contract, so there's 3 initial years with 2 times 12-month optional extensions. So that's an optional 24 months. Extensions are subject to a few things such as performance, our own budgets, market conditions, etc. Just wanted to confirm that it is contracts being awarded, so that's where we have an estimated level of work to give yourselves, as opposed to a framework agreement. Framework agreements are when there's no guarantee of work for yourselves and there's no guaranteed level of work. However, we are awarding contracts because we have an estimated level of work to give yourselves. So further information, so for this one, it's a mandatory requirement that all staff associated with the delivery of the contract are paid at least the real living wage. So the real living wage is not to be confused with the minimum national wage or the national living wage. It is a different one which has been calculated as the real cost of living. So the current real living wage is £9.90. There is some more details on that in the specification documents. So some details on the contract again. So the service must be provided throughout the year. You must be prepared and equipped to deliver over difficult terrain and in adverse weather conditions. We are wishing to move away from the use of trench mounding to a more sustainable practice, and we expect yourselves to support this move. An alternative practice, for example, could be scarification. We are also looking to implement the use of GPS mounding trackers and telematics within the contracts. So this would be after year 1, when we've carried out a bit of testing within our own organisation, etc., and what this would look like. You must be willing to work with us on this within the contracts. This will be implemented on a contract-by-contract basis, and both parties, yourselves and us, will have an obligation to work together to implement this. Costs of this should be considered as an overhead and factored into your pricing within the tender. KPIs will be reviewed on a quarterly basis. That's our key performance indicators. The details of that in the specification documents. Carbon emissions will be reported monthly. These will be measured within year 1. Emission reduction targets will then be set following the year 1 measurements on a contract-by-contract basis, just working with yourselves to anticipate how we can reduce carbon emissions. There is also a scored question relating to emission reporting within the tender. There's also details of the permitted roles and minimum qualifications within the tender documents. So some details on the actual procurement. So we do require a managerial oversight for this one. The managerial aspects can't be subcontracted out. There is bidding restrictions as well. You can bid for a maximum of 6 lots, but you can also be awarded the maximum 6 that you do bid for. Subcontractors as well, they may only appear in 6 lots. There's also mandatory community benefits within this one. These can't be benefits you're already providing. So community benefits are essentially bringing community benefit to the local and broader Scottish community while carrying out your obligations under this contract. Required benefits that we're looking for within this contract are maximising sustainable jobs and training gains, training and upskilling for current employees, use of SMEs, so that's small medium enterprises, supported businesses and third sector organisations when possible, and also reporting on level of spend with those organisations when you can, creating new jobs via apprenticeships, trainees, etc. So there's also further details of the community benefits within the tender documents and the evaluation criteria. There will be an annual price review carried out by FLS, and any adjustments will be in line with previous 12 months Consumer Price Index. All costs of the service must be considered and included within the submitted prices within the tender. So each service requests a fixed price uplift for complex sites. So this is when there is a complex site, there's going to be a fixed price applied, which you yourselves will provide a cost for within the tender submission. There was a question asked on complex sites via PCST, which we're currently defining an answer to and will publish. So this is just to provide yourselves with further information on what a complex site is, to allow yourselves to answer that question better and provide a cost for it. When the contract is live, we would work with yourselves to identify where these complex sites may be while we're doing our programme planning, etc. Just a reminder as well of the cost quality ratio. It's a 60% cost weighting and a 40% quality weighting. Submitted costs must be sustainable, not only to us but also to yourselves. The cost you provide must be able to sustain the services you're carrying out. So that is the presentation from myself complete. We do have some time to ask questions on the presentation. There has been a number of questions asked through